Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to dig into the information and pull out what really matters for you.
And today we're looking at something practical. How to really train your brain so you can think and speak in English more instantly.
Yeah, because a lot of people get this right. They understand English pretty well, maybe read it okay, but actually speaking it,
Yeah.
that feels like a different challenge altogether.
It really does. And often it comes down to this habit we all have, or many learners have, of mentally translating everything first. That's what causes those, pauses and the feeling that it's not flowing naturally.
Right. And what I found interesting in the source material for today is how it tackles this. It's less about memorizing grammar rules endlessly.
Exactly. It's more about what they call real talk, building these English circuits directly in your brain.
Using simple phrases, things you use every day, and specific kinds of practice. Okay, so let's get into that.
Well, the first big thing to understand is that problem of translation itself. When you try to speak, and your mind automatically goes to your native language first and then tries to swap words into English, it slows everything down.
Creates a bottleneck.
Yeah, exactly. A bottleneck. The source even calls it a kind of panic sometimes. It really disrupts the flow.
Okay, so that's the problem. How we start fixing that, rewiring it. The source brings up this talk to yourself technique. Sounds a little funny, maybe.
It might sound a bit odd, yeah. But the idea behind it is actually pretty clever. By just sort of consciously saying what you're doing or thinking in English out loud. Even really simple stuff like, okay, I'm brushing my teeth now, or I'm drinking some water.
Right.
You start creating a direct link, a direct path between the thought and the English words. You're kind of bypassing the need to translate first.
Like building a dedicated English highway in your brain instead of taking the scenic translation route every time.
That's a great way to put it. And the source really hammers this home. Simple sentences are powerful for this. I'm listening to the deep dive right now.
Or, I want to speak better English.
I don't want to translate anymore, just saying these things out loud.
So it's not just thinking it, it's the saying it that matters.
Yes, that's crucial. It's about immediate, active practice, engaging your mouth, your ears, your brain, all at once in the act of producing English.
Getting that physical feeling of speaking.
Exactly. It builds comfort, it builds rhythm. It's not just theory, it's doing.
And they give real-life examples, don't they? Like, you're just going about your day.
Yeah, look outside. Oh, the weather's nice today. Or, I'm walking to the store. Maybe, oh, there's a dog over there.
Just narrating your own life,
Yeah.
basically. Using
Yeah.
your own actual thoughts as the material.
And that's key. It connects the language directly to your reality, your immediate experience.
Makes it relevant.
Very relevant. It stops English being this separate study subject and starts integrating it into, just living.
And I think this is important. The source stresses that it's not about being perfect, especially at the start.
Oh, definitely not. The advice is pretty clear. Use the words you already know. Don't worry if you don't have the perfect word for something. Say what you can say.
And say it out loud, often.
Yes. It's about building that initial confidence, that flow, getting comfortable with the sounds, even if the grammar isn't, textbook perfect yet. That comes later.
So it's about habit formation then.
Absolutely. Consistency is the name of the game. It's not about how fast you learn, but about building that consistent habit of letting English out.
Little bits, often.
Exactly. Cooking. Okay, I'm chopping onions now.
I know.
Relaxing. I'm relaxing now. Those small moments add up. They train your brain to just reach for English more readily.
So it's not just thinking in English. The speaking part actually helps the thinking part.
That's what the source suggests, yes. The physical motion of the mouth can actually lead the mind, reinforcing those neural pathways. It's quite fascinating.
Okay, and then there's this drill they mention. Speak like you mean it. What's that about?
Right, so you take simple sentences again, like, I'm sitting on a chair, or my phone is on the table, but instead of just reciting them like a robot,
Like a language learner, yeah.
you say them with genuine feeling, as if you're actually communicating that information. You shift from being a student repeating lines to being a speaker using the language.
Why does adding that feeling make such a difference?
Well, it seems to engage more of your brain. It connects the language to intention, to purpose. It stops being just an abstract exercise and becomes, more real. It sticks better.
Makes sense. They also talk about mental rehearsal, right?
Like, imagine you're in a coffee shop. You hear someone order, "Can I get a black coffee?" The idea is to mentally repeat that phrase yourself, maybe even whisper it.
Ah, so you're practicing without even having to speak out loud in public yet.
Exactly. You're reducing that translation lag again. You're
Yeah.
sort of preloading common phrases, getting your brain used to hearing and processing them quickly. It makes you feel more ready when it's your turn.
And using your immediate environment, too.
Yeah, just look around you, wherever you are right now. What do you see? There's a window, I'm sitting down, there's a book over there.
Your life is the topic.
That's the phrase they use. Your own life is the topic. You don't need anything else to practice. It's always available.
And it ties into another point. They make native speakers use simple language all the time.
Oh, constantly. Think about it. How often do we just say things like, I'm done, let's go, I'm tired? It's not always complex sentences and fancy words.
So learners shouldn't feel pressured to sound super academic all the time.
Not at all. Clarity is fluency. Using simple words confidently is much better than struggling for complex ones and pausing all the time.
And adding emotion helps too, they said. Like, I'm happy, I'm bored, I'm excited.
Yes, connecting words to your actual feelings makes the language more personal, more memorable. It's not just vocabulary, it's your experience expressed in English.
So for someone feeling that frustration, I understand everything, but I just can't speak. What's the core message?
Honestly, the core message seems to be you just need to speak more. Use what you know, out loud, every day. It's often not a knowledge problem, it's a practice problem, a doing problem.
The physical act again.
Yes, it's like a muscle. You have to work it out. Repetition is key here. Saying simple things like, I just woke up, I'm brushing my teeth, over and over makes them automatic.
Takes the thinking out of it.
Right. It becomes natural, effortless, like breathing.
They even suggest rhythmic repetition for common phrases.
Yeah, things like, let's do it, or I'm not sure, tell me more. Saying them with a kind of rhythm and feeling.
Like practicing the music of the language, not just the words.
Exactly. It helps build that muscle memory for the sounds and intonation of natural spoken English.
And turning passive time into active time. Like watching TV.
Yeah, instead of just watching, try repeating lines you hear. Copy the actor's tone, the rhythm, even if it's just under your breath.
So you're actively engaging, not just consuming.
Right. You're building those automatic responses, training your ear and your mouth simultaneously.
And imagining scenarios, like being in a shop.
Yes. Mentally rehearse what you'd say. How much is this? Do you have this in blue? Practice it in your head, maybe whisper it. Then when you're actually there, it feels less daunting.
You've run the simulation.
Pretty much. Same with describing places you like. Mentally walk through your favorite park or cafe, describing it in English. It's quiet here. It smells like coffee. This place makes me feel relaxed.
Connecting language to positive feelings and memories.
Makes it stick. And then there's the mirror practice.
Okay, tell us about that.
Simple concept. Stand in front of a mirror, look at yourself, and just say simple things in English about what's there. I see a book behind me. There's a lamp on the table.
Getting comfortable seeing yourself speak English.
Exactly. It makes it feel more real, more like you doing it. It can also help you notice your mouth movements, your expressions.
What about when you get stuck? You don't know the word.
Crucial advice here. Don't just go silent. Simplify. Use a word you do know. Point. Use that thing.
Keep talking.
Yes. Silence is not okay, they stress. Keep the flow going, even if it's with simpler language. Communication is the goal, not perfection.
Makes sense. And practice common social stuff too. Greetings, goodbyes.
Definitely. Phrases like, hey, how's it going? Catch you later. No way. Just practicing these little daily interactions helps you feel like you're actually living in English.
It all comes back to this core idea, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That speaking fluently is something you train. It's a result of practice, of the mouth leading the mind, not just talent or memory.
It really empowers you, thinking of it that way. It's a skill you build actively, not something you either have or you don't.
They even talk about it like creating a new voice for yourself.
Yeah, like an evolution, becoming this more global version of yourself. It's framed as exciting, bold.
And that English lives in the spoken word, even a whisper. That voice becomes your power.
It's a nice way to think about it. That the act of speaking itself brings the language to life and gives you agency.
And they circle back to the mirror practice at the end with affirmations.
Looking in the mirror and saying, I can speak English. And even more powerfully, I am speaking English right now.
Making it present, making it real.
Exactly. Building that self-belief alongside the skill.
Okay, so after laying out this whole philosophy, the source gets really concrete with tons of practice drills, like super specific.
Yeah, it's almost like a workout plan. It breaks it down into like practicing simple action sentences. I open the door, she picks up the bag. Just getting those basic verbs and structures down.
Right, and using can and can't.
I can cook. Can you swim? I can't speak German. Really basic but essential stuff about abilities.
And questions too, right? The fundamental one.
Absolutely. Drilling things like, where's the shop? What is your name? Just getting comfortable forming those basic questions.
And the simple present tense for routines. Facts.
Yeah, I wake up at 7, she goes to school. The bedrock of talking about daily life. Then adding time expressions. I sleep at 10 p.m., he runs every morning.
Making it more specific. And negatives. I don't like pizza.
Crucial. She doesn't go out often. You need to be able to say no or negate things.
And describing what's around using there is or there are.
There is a cat. There are 2 cars outside. Pointing things out. Again, directly linking language to your environment.
Which ties back to simply saying what you see. I see a tree.
Keeps it grounded in reality and talking about feelings. I feel happy. He seems tired.
Building that emotional vocabulary. Then planning with going to.
Right. I'm going to call him later. We're going to the movies. Talking about the near future.
And describing locations with prepositions. The book is on the table. He's at the door.
Essential glue words. Plus practicing have for possession. I have a brother. Do you have the time?
Describing things with adjectives, asking yes/no questions.
Is the coffee hot? Are you ready? Basic back and forth stuff. Using want. Talking about the weather. A classic.
Always useful. And frequency, always, sometimes, never.
I often read, she never eats meat. Adding nuance. Preferences with like to. Necessities with need to.
I like to walk. I need to leave soon. Perception verbs, I see, I hear.
Using to for agreement. Talking about family. Using because for reason.
I'm tired because I didn't sleep well. Talking about food, using I think for opinions.
I think it's gonna rain. Using adverbs like still, conjunctions like so and but.
It's raining, so I'll take an umbrella. I want to go, but I'm busy. Colors, the past tense with was, were, and had.
I was late. We had fun. Talking about daily actions again, sequencing with before and after.
Brush your teeth before you go to bed. More location words, using let's for suggestions.
Let's get coffee. Using help, saying sorry. Talking about hobbies.
Asking for help, apologizing, key social skills, practicing can't again, and then basic Q&A like, how are you? I'm fine.
Yeah. It really covers the fundamentals exhaustively. Then it moves into practicing specific question words.
Right, like drilling where questions, when questions, what time questions.
How many, how much, who, which, whose. Really breaking down how to ask for different kinds of information.
Asking about preferences with like needs with need. Desires with want.
Asking about daily actions again, sequencing with first and then, practicing short answers.
Which is how people really talk often. And using always and never in questions, asking about feelings.
Using again to ask for repetition already for completed actions, still and yet for ongoing things.
It's incredibly thorough, going through all these building blocks, and then it seems to put them into more context.
Exactly. It revisits things like daily routines, using before and after, can and can't, but then adds should and shouldn't for advice.
You should rest. You shouldn't worry.
Right. More feelings, practical small talk for shops, using want to, again, talking about home stuff, whether again, have to for obligation.
I have to work late. Health talk. Travel talk. Going to, again, for future plans.
Restaurant scenarios, talking about time, the super useful, I don't know.
The essential phrase. And small excuses, using because, again, and then mixing it all up in practice questions and dialogues.
Yeah, the final parts really focus on integrating everything. Longer examples for shopping, talking about holidays, family, jobs, transport.
Using more polite phrasing, discussing hobbies, talking about past habits with used to.
I used to live there. More on feelings and moods. It aims to show you how all these pieces fit together in actual conversations.
So wrapping this all up then, if we boil down this whole deep dive, the core idea really seems to be about consistent, small actions.
Absolutely. Speaking English throughout your day, even just narrating your own thoughts in simple sentences. That seems to be the key to getting past that translation barrier.
And building that genuine automatic fluency. Don't underestimate talking to yourself.
Or that mirror practice. Getting comfortable with your own English voice, hearing it, seeing yourself speak it. It sounds simple, but it can be powerful.
And remembering that every sentence you manage to say out loud, no matter how simple, is actual progress. It's a win.
It's building that confidence brick by brick. You're actively rewiring your brain with each utterance.
So maybe the final thought for you listening is this. Fluency isn't really about achieving some mythical state of perfection way off in the distance.
Right. It's more about the freedom you gain right now, the power to express yourself, your thoughts, your feelings authentically in another language. Even simply, that journey, you're already on it. Every time you speak,